Okay guys, I'm Richard from the Leather Repair Company. I think one of the fundamental things about starting out in business is having your resources. Rather than just having one resource, I think it's wise to have multiple resources and investigate your market of what you're looking at. So rather than just sort of trusting a friend down the road and thinking because they've said that it's got to be fact, I think what you need to look at is to investigate and speak to specialists that are in your industry, i.e. obviously with vehicles or any type of item that you're going to be looking at detailing, whether it's a boat, plane or a car. Obviously if it has leather in it, that is a very specialist item. So you need to find people that are specialists in that field. Obviously we are one of them, we are the Leather Repair Company, and we obviously dedicate our lives to leather. So you've got to make sure that you're getting the resources from varying people that are within our industry, of which we do have competitors. So you can reach out to those other guys and speak to them and make sure the resources that you're getting told are identical and they all tie in and work and gel together. Because the last thing you want is just to go to somebody down the road or a detailer friend and they say, no, that's not leather, when you could actually end up with a very serious problem, because you go from something like a Ferrari to a Ford, they're totally different leathers and there are different approaches to how to handle those and how to care and maintain them, and it's a totally different approach at how to repair them as well. So you have to sort of look at that and bear that in mind with what you're doing and how that's going to gel and work in your business. Obviously, getting in business is quite a massive leap for anybody to do, but you've got to make sure that when you get into business, you've got the right ammunition behind you to keep and to defend your position, to make sure that your business grows successfully for the long term. So invest in education is one of the most important things I would tell anybody that's starting out in business. Make sure that you research for your market thoroughly. Check out your competitors, speak to them, because they will gladly help you and they will talk to you and give you guidance. We are here to give people guidance, and that's what we're here to do, and to help people as much as we possibly can. But obviously understanding leather is very difficult. There is a multitude of leather. So I mean, we have like leather ID books where you can go through and it gives you a complete history of each type of leather that you've got, here. So I mean, and then you've got different types of materials that people look at. So you can actually look at something like this. To the naked eye, you could actually think this is actually real leather, but when you actually start investigating it, you can clearly see that it isn't. But you've got to find out ways of how to tell what this is. So a genuine leather item is going to feel a lot more warm to the touch, and it's going to have this sort of impression that when you run your finger down it, the grain sort of goes into a triangle and follows your finger, whereas a plastic material, which is what this is, which is what we call a bonded leather rather than a fake leather, so it doesn't have any leather content. It is a fake material, it's faux, it is plastic, and it feels much colder to the touch, and that's how you're going to tell whether a vehicle has genuine leather or whether it has a fake material in there. So don't just trust somebody by saying, oh, leather's fine, it's very durable, you can steam clean it, you can do this. Some of the worst things you can do to leather is steam cleaning it. So talk to people, make sure you get the education that you need before you jump in and you damage and cause 20,000 bucks damage to an interior of a vehicle, because that's what it can do. The inside of a car has a lot more complexity materials to it than the outside of a vehicle. You're dealing with one product on the outside, which is paint. You're dealing with an interior where you've got fabrics, you've got carpets, you've got nylon, you've got leather, you've got vinyl, you've got faux, you've got hard plastic trim. So they're all very, very different. Obviously, you've got the glass as well. So you could have Alcantara. And again, Alcantara is not a leather. A lot of people believe in Alcantara is a form of leather, and it is far from a form of leather. It is actually a fabric material, and that's exactly what it is. It's a synthetic fiber fabric material. Again, you can look at that by looking through like a magnifying glass that's attached to your phone, like an electronic microscope. That can tell you a great deal of things about leather, which is what we use and we introduced into the industry a few years back, and it now has become the standard throughout our industry for people to use those electronic microscopes attached to a cell phone, so that you can actually look at them and identify the leathers very, very easily, rather than just relying on looking at a few different leathers in a book. But I think the most important thing is research your market, understand your leathers before you jump into a vehicle and just start attacking something, because you can't steam clean it. You cannot use magic erasers. You cannot use scrubber pads, because they're all made from plastics or damaging materials that will take off the surface coating. Leather is made, obviously, once it's tanned, it is a skin, it then gets a primer coat, it then gets a colour coat, and then it gets a clear coat. That clear coat lacquer that goes on the surface is anywhere between 5 and 20 which is microns. So that is very, very thin. If you were to take a standard piece of writing paper, that is around 100 microns in thickness. So as you can imagine, the coating on the surface of the leather, only being between 5 and 20, is very microscopic, and that can be damaged very, very easily. So you need to make sure you know exactly what you're dealing with when you're dealing with leather. Steam cleaning, obviously you've got different layers and surfaces there. So if you can imagine steam cleaning this, you're going to get moisture going between the layers, and they are going to delaminate and fall apart. And that we've seen happen on multiple occasions with vehicles where we've been called in to rescue them to resolve that particular problem that's been created by people with the lack of knowledge. Always check. We do have a website where you can get the best information from. It is the Wikipedia of leather of the internet, which is prorestorers.co.uk, or just go over to leatherguides.com. Either one of those will take you to that website. That website is packed full of free information, resources, videos, guides and tutorials to tell you exactly how to identify all types of leather, whether it's from a snake to a buffalo to a horse to a sheep. You know, there's everything there to tell you how to do that, from all types of fish, and it doesn't matter what it is. There is a leather ID there to tell you how to identify it, how to care for it, how to repair it, maintain it, and look after it. The thing is with leather, it's a sustainable product. It's a biodegradable product compared to a plastic material, which is meant to be eco-friendly. It is far from it. The CO2 gases from a plastic item last for over 1,000 years in our environment. The CO2 gases from a leather item last for a maximum of 100 years in our environment. So where you've got like things where people say leather is bad for our environment, they're actually superior compared to faux leathers and plastic vegan materials. So it's a much better material, it's a much better longevity material. Vegan materials do not degrade underground, whereas leather is a completely biodegradable material. But that website has a massive resources of information. If there's something that's not there, just hook up with us and we will help you with that information that you need to get that resolved, whatever problem you have. We are here to help people. You don't have to be a technician of ours. We are here to help and educate. That's what we're here for, and that's why we're part of the IDA, and we're here to help people, to educate you, to get the best advice possible to make your journey in your business a much better and flourish one from start to end.